Hi, welcome to my card and a cuppa for Wednesday the 17th of September 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast. So welcome. I'm a few minutes late because I was just double checking that what I'm using is still available. So I just wanted to double check that. So jump on and say, oh, hi Leslie, hi Elizabeth, hi Lynn. You're all jumping on. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was just double checking one of the things I'm using today was still available, because you know how things can just become unavailable very quickly. So yeah, so this is Card and a Cuppa, and it's using a sketch, and I think using the sketch from last week that Marilyn liked. And I said I'd do it this week. I think it was Marilyn. So that's the sketch design we're going to use today. And I want to tell you there's a little bit of housekeeping. There's a whole lot of things going on in the Stampin' Up world. So I will go down to the craft desk and... Hi Marilyn. I was just saying, I'm using the sketch. I think it was you that I said we'd do this one this week. I think it was you from last week. I can't remember. I think it was. I'm in terrible need of a haircut. Next Wednesday is my haircut, and I've got it up in a clip. I just look like a shaggy dog. I look a bit like Rosie, actually. So, I'm sorry for my disheveled look, but, you know, I don't know. Does everybody else have this problem with their hair? Like, you book a haircut, and you sort of think, yeah, that'll be fine. And it gets to, like, 1 week before, and you think, I should have booked it this week, not next week. Hi, Kerry. I know I do it all the time, and I think, no, I'll stretch it out to like 7 weeks or something, or 8 weeks, one or the other. And then I think, I've got to wait another week. I should have done it for this week. Not to worry. Thanks, Leslie. It's really quite scruffy. As I said, I've got it up in a clip because it's just, yeah. Anyway, let's go down to the craft desk. We'll do our housekeeping and then we'll get crafting. Okay, so I don't have my light on because I'm getting quite a lot of light from my window, so I hope that's okay, and also it doesn't glare if I don't have my light on. So Stampin' Up have announced that there is a stamp and stamp tools sale tomorrow, the 18th of September. 15% off. It's a 24-hour sale. So if there's anything you want, it's a good day to place an order. So it only happens once a year. The stamp sale will run for 24 hours. There's a 15% discount which will apply to all stamps and stamp tools. You can see and shop all qualifying products in the online store. It does exclude last chance products. Oh gosh, everyone's jumping on, I think. Oh, your turn for Noisy Workman, Lynn. Yep, my shed next door, it's not my shed, but the shed next door is finished. So it's all quiet. Hi, Nicole. I think I've said hello to everybody. Kerry, if I've missed anyone, I do apologise. Oh, I hope your Workman, Lynn, aren't going to be too long. Too many days of Noisy Workman. So yeah, this is the Stamp and Tools sale. So if you go to the online store, you can actually see what's available. They're not discounted yet until midnight tonight. So it runs it runs for 24 hours. And there are stools. There's things like the chamois stools. There are tools. Things like the chamois, the Stampin' Scrub, the Stampin' Mist, the brayer. There's all kinds of tools in the tools section as well. So make sure you have a look tomorrow. The stamp set we're using today is a standalone stamp set. So if you ordered it tomorrow, you would get 15% off. So the other thing they announced that there is this 12 days of crafting advent calendar coming. It's going to, I should write on here. It's going to become available on Tuesday. Why isn't it on here? Anyway, Tuesday. No, my pen doesn't want to work. Tuesday, the 23rd of September. And it's while supplies last. While supplies last. So, this is something new they're doing. Now, it is a bit of a pricey high ticket item. It's $173, but it comes in a beautiful box, and it's 12 days of crafting. So it's not actually like a countdown for Christmas, but you open each little window and you'll find something inside it. So there is a stamp set included and a little bag of dies. If you go to the online store, there are a couple of little videos with sneak peeks, so it's worth having a look at. They've never done something like this before, so I'm thinking I will probably get it, even though it's a big ticket item, but I like to know what they're doing. So that's available from next Tuesday, the 23rd of September, and it's while supplies last. So that's that one. And then the other thing they announced yesterday are craft classes. They're going to do, hi Barbara, they're going to do craft classes. So the first one's going to be on the 24th of October at 7 a.m. our time, so up bright and early, or you can view it later on demand. And there's the item number for the craft class, and it is, the first one is the Traditions of Christmas suite. So if you've got that Traditions of Christmas suite collection, you can buy the class and get a link to the Facebook group and craft along. I don't have this whole suite, but I think I might do it just to see how it works, because I could probably fussy cut some of the floral images if, yeah, I could work around that. So that's another thing they're going to start doing. So there's lots of new things happening, but the big thing is the stamp sale, Stampin Tools sale tomorrow, 15% off. Make sure you grab yourself a bargain. Okay, so now this is the sketch we're going to do today. And I'm sort of doing sketches, and I'm sort of cheating because I need another card for a class I've been designing for October. So I'm going to use this card for my class in October. And we're going to use the Jar of Joy bundle. No, it's not a bundle. The Jar of Joy stamp set. Now this will be 15% off tomorrow. And it does coordinate with the punch, the jar punch. Now, I don't think punches are in the sale. I'm pretty sure they're not, but don't hold me to it. I'll be at work tomorrow and I won't be able to tell you. But the stamp set will be. So it's a really cute stamp set. There is another one. I don't know what it's called. Not Jar of Joy. A jar of something. And it is bundled with the punch, but I don't have the other stamp set. I just got this one for Christmas. So we're going to use this one. And we're going to use a little bit of gold foil, and we're going to use this Marbled Elegance paper, which came out, maybe it was the January to April mini catalogue for the Valentine's Day, or an online exclusive. It's in the last chance product list. It is still available. I checked before I went live, and it's down to $23.20, and it's specialty paper. It's got beautiful gold foiling in it. And the colours, what are the colours? Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Real Red and Gold. So I really love these ones. They've got the swirls in it. And of course the B-side's always not gold foil, it's just sort of matte. But yeah, always nice with all the gold foiling. So I'm trying to use up some of this paper. Hi Jenna Marie. I know a punch is a tool, but I don't think they're going to be included. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Check tomorrow. So, yeah, sometimes they'll do a punch sale. So, I'm thinking it's probably, they're not included, but who knows. All right, so let's bring in our supplies. Now, I did a little bit of prep ahead of time. So I've got my Real Red card base. Now, is this straight? No, it's not. Well, it's not for me anyway. My Real Red card base, that's just a standard A5 card. And I'm going to put it onto a matting piece. So my dimensions are a little bit different to my sketch thing. So this has got the designer series paper or card strips going straight onto your card base, but I'm doing a matting piece, so therefore I've made them 1/2 centimetre shorter to mat onto my piece. So we've got some of this beautiful Marbled Elegance paper. We've got a 3-inch strip, we've got a 4-inch strip, and we've got a 2 centimetre strip. So it's 3, did I say inches? Gosh, I'm a dill. It's 3 centimetres by 13.9, 4 centimetres by 13.9, and 2 centimetres by 13.9 when you're putting it onto a matting piece. So let's do that. I will get my glue. Sweet jar, is that what the other stamp set's called? Yeah, I'm toying as to whether I should get it, but I don't know if I really need another stamp set at this point in my life. I've got so many, and I'm trying to use what I've got. So anyway, this is the 3 centimetre strip, and I'm just going to mat it onto our matting piece. So our matting piece is 10 centimetres by 14.4. Now I put that one there, and now I'm going to go to the 2 centimetre strip and put that one on. And come on up you come. Didn't want to put my finger in it. And it doesn't really matter which way round it goes, there's no right or wrong, and I just think the swirls of the gold foil and splatter are just nice whichever way. So that gives me my edge pieces done, and then I just put this in the middle and I just centre it with the gap either side. I find that's the easiest way when I'm doing things like strips of paper. Okay, and I'm just going to put that in the centre like so. Make sure my little gaps are pretty even. Sometimes I do this design when the strips are the same size, but this one's just a little bit different. 3 centimetres, 4 centimetres and 2 centimetres. Makes for an interesting combo. And then I'm going to attach this to my card base. And how's everybody going today? Is everybody having a good day? It's beautiful weather here. It's 26 degrees and it's lovely. I've had quite a productive day today so far, so that's good. I like those days. I like it when you feel like you've accomplished some things. So that's our card base ready. So let's put my lid back on. Now I know this says a 3-inch circle and a 1 3/4 inch circle. I'm going rogue, but I'm using the sketch to give me inspiration. So I am going rogue. So I've got, I don't know what size circle this is. Let's have it. It's from the Stylish Shape dies. So it looks like a 2 and a, it's not 2 1/4. Let's go 2 1/4 though. I'm using that one. And then you can see I've been creating for a class. Let me just get rid of these ones. I probably can keep that for something else. I can probably, not sure if that's going to be enough room, but anyway, let's have a look. Let's see. Now I am going to get, what inks do I need? I'm going to get Secret Sea, or you can use Black Memento. So 22 and sunny in the Central West. Freezing, Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, I'm shocked. Beautiful day in Sydney. Freezing and 13 degrees. I hope you've all got your cuppa. I've got my green tea. I'm shocked. Well, can you keep your freezing weather to yourself? I don't want it back. You can use Black Memento for the jar outline, but I'm going to use Secret Sea because it's nearly black. And I'm going to get Pecan Pie down, and I'm going to get Real Red. And I think that's all I need. Pretty sure. Okay, so let's put those there. And I am going to bring in my paper piercing mat, because I do think this little stamp set works a little bit better with this underneath. Now, is that going to be big enough? Let me just look. I don't think I need my glue. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, keep it to yourself, Elizabeth. Have you received your online class package yet? One lady has received it. She let me know. Hi, Sheila. So that was good. I was pleased to know she got it. So I'm waiting to hear if you and another lady. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can fit this here. So let me just stamp my jar. And now, if you needed to get a better chamois tomorrow in the sale, they will be available. And I believe the stamp cases are available. Now, I don't know how much the chamois are because I'm a silly goose and I haven't written that down. I do have another new one. I have a new one, but I can't use it. It's a bit like a Versamark pad. I have used it, but yeah, it's like a, you know, when you get a new Versamark pad, you don't want to sort of ruin it. So I do have a new one right here, ready to go. But I can't use it. I use my old daggy one, which goes to show that they do last forever. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to get the little gingerbread. So this is a 2-step stamp set, which is kind of, not yet, hopefully tomorrow. Yes, definitely, hopefully tomorrow. Which is kind of a little bit of a technique. You have to have a little bit of experience with the 2-step stamp set. Yeah. So I'm getting this one with the gingerbread and the cookies and things in the background. And I'm going to ink him up in pecan pie. And this is when I want my paper piecing mat underneath, because I want my gingerbread to be a really nice solid image. And I'm just going to put it inside the jar, and it just fits beautifully inside. There's not a lot of lining up with that. And you can see how my little gingerbread is quite solid. I did it, I re-inked my pecan pie as well. And one I made previously, he had little white spots, so I think he had a bit of white choc chips in him or something. He didn't look right. So we'll get my chamois again. Let's put it to the left of me. Okay, and Elizabeth, you've got some function you're doing on Saturday, so you can't craft along with the online class, can you? So I guess if yours doesn't quite arrive in time, it's not too bad. So now I've got real red, and I also re-inked my real red. Now this stamp in the set, it fills in red little accents and his bow tie and his gumdrop buttons. So that's where you have to line it up. So I'm just going to ink it up in red, real red. And if my head comes in, I find it's easiest to line up his bow tie and his gumdrop buttons. That's where I find it's easiest. So I think, I don't want to bring my head in too much. I think that's pretty good. And if not, we can turn it over and start again. I didn't quite line it up. Let's try again. We'll put that one there, and let's bring this back in. So now I need to get everything else. And I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to do his bow tie first, and then his body. I don't know if that's going to be a better way of doing it, but let's have a play. It's always good to have a play. So we'll get our little jar again, and Secret C down here. Okay. This set's really good for a shaker card as well, but I haven't done a shaker card with it. I don't know if I want to do it the other way around. I think that's scary. I really do think that's scary. But maybe I should try. Maybe I should try and line it up better. I don't know. Alright, let's try. Let's just live life on the edge and try it the other way around. So this is the red. Sometimes you find that things are easier if you do it this way. I don't know if I can find it easier, but anyway. Let's have a go. Let's just try. And then if all else fails, we can start all over again. There we go. No, I'll put the real red, I'll close it up anyway. And cut my little... See, I don't think this is as easy myself. Let's see how we go. I've got the bow tie a little bit too high on this one, and that one's a little bit too low. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody's going to criticise, and if they do, we know what to do with them. Let's just have a little look. Okay, I'm thinking I like this one better. I think I like this one better. It's much of a muchness, really, isn't it? Let's go with that. But that's probably just because I didn't bring my head right over the top. And sometimes it's hard to do when you're doing a video. So I'm just lining it up in the punch and punching it out. Okay, I'm not going to chop that. I don't need any more of that. And my gold foil, I just want a scrap of gold foil for the lid. It's got a bag like this with all the gold foil in it. Gold foil scraps. See, just a little scrap for the lid. So you've got the lid in here on this punch. And I like cutting out gold or silver lids. Did I get that right? I think I did. Yep. Okay. It's always good to have gold foil, especially around Christmas time. Put gold foil on your list. Number one. Oh, you agreed, Lynn. Yay! I'm glad, because I was just moving forward. I mean, you could get your red pen marker out and sort of fix it up a bit, but you know, if I'd got my head right over the top, and then you would have seen my messy hair, and you know, that might not have been a good idea. So I'm just going to I'll put glue dots on the back of my little piece of gold on my lids. So it's going to stick to my little mat now, because it's just sort of there. I think I want them over. Get rid of my mat. This is what I need. I think I want it over a little bit further. Or am I just being too fussy? Probably being too fussy. Too fussy. There we go. That's better. So they are sticky, but I'm going to put it up on dimensional, so it doesn't really matter. Now then I've got, so this, I'm using this. Hi Tanya. I'm using this in place of a circle. I'm sort of using the sketch as a guide, but I'm going rogue. So I'm going to put that up on dimensionals, and I've got this for my sentiment. And I'm going to do Wishing You the Sweetest Christmas, because that would also fit in your jar. We could do 2 jars. Do you want to do that instead of a circle? Oh, thanks, Leslie. All right, let's vote. Who wants 2 jars with the sentiment in the jar or the circle? Let's just have a vote. And I'll have a sip of tea. And then we're still following our sketch. We're just doing not circles, we're doing 2 jars. So who thinks 2 jars, or who thinks a circle for the sentiment? 2 jars, Kerry. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, Leslie says circle. Kerry was first with 2 jars. Okay, let's go with 2 jars, and I can show you something else at the end. Okay, so there's a sentiment. Let's get Secret C back. I can keep Leslie happy as well at the end, I think. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way round, and I'm going to stamp my jar. Oh, Sheila said circle. Oh, well, I'll keep you happy too at the end as well. Okay, so that's our jars. A jar. Now, what did I do? Oh, there's the sentiment. See, that's where I could have got come unstuck. It sticks to the back of your stamp case, and then you can't find it, and you're looking everywhere. You're thinking, what have I done? Okay, so this is the sentiment, wishing you the sweetest Christmas, and see how it fits beautifully inside the jar. There we go. I don't know, I think whenever I get on a video I get a croak. I don't know why. Silly. Okay, so we'll have to bring some gold foil back in again. And like, you can put multiple things in here. You can put a snowman inside the jar, and you can put the ornaments inside the jar. So I will show you the cards I've designed for my October class, just to show you how I've done that. Look, here's a little scrap. Or am I going to be able to get that in there? Let's just play and see. No. Oh yeah, that looks good. Keep your scraps, girls. Look at that. Oh, just. I won't keep that anymore. I do know when scraps have gone past their use by date. Okay, let's. Why are you a bit worried, Sheila? Because I couldn't line up his little bow tie and his gum nut drops? Don't be worried. You will be able to do it. Especially if you get your head right over the top. She says. You will be able to do it. Let me show you some of the other cards that I've designed. Okay, now what do I want? Glue dots. I'm going to put one on either end again. I just don't like using glue with foil because it can be troublesome. If you get the glue on the foil, it dulls the foil down and it takes all the shine away, and I don't like that. I can't pick this up. There we go. Okay, so there's a little jar with the sentiment. Okay, I think I can put these away. I think I can put this away. Maybe. Okay, so let's put the sentiment jar down flat. So we're still tracking our sketch, but just going a little rogue. Sentiment jar down flat. Okay, flat glue. Well, don't be worried. Now I am going to put glue up here, keeping it away. And where is my take a pick tool? There we go. There we go. So I'm going to put my sentiment jar there. Do you see what I just tried to do? Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, so last little dimensional for this. I'm going to put that over the top of the jar lid and the jar, and then that's going to keep that stuck together. Here's hoping. And I'll put one down here and one down here. There's two-step stamping in the snowman as well, but he, I think, is easier, slightly easier to line up. Oopsie. And now I'm going to put him down like so. Now, I was going to use these beautiful Traditions of Christmas embellishments. I think I'll do the gold because I think the gold is what's calling. They're flat sequins and they're so sparkly. and I like sparkle. I'm going to put one there and then one over here. I don't know if I'll put any ribbon on it. I don't think I will. I think it looks okay just like that. And it's keeping it fairly flat to get through the mail. And I've got to do an insert. There we go, my insert piece. Get rid of that for the moment. And I'm going to put sending a jar full of cheer in my insert. So I've got my long block. I do know the blocks are in the sale tomorrow. So if you're wanting to stock up on blocks, this D block is the most handiest one to have, I think. Where does it say D? Yeah, that's the handiest one to have. Okay, so I'm just thinking the sending a jar of joy. Now, I normally put my sentiments down the bottom, but I am going to go rogue. Look at me going rogue. Aren't you proud of me? Put that in the middle. Look how good that looks. And clean it off. So it's really cute little stamp set. It's normally $35, but with the sale tomorrow it will be 15% off. Don't ask me what that is. I can't work that out in my head because 10% is $3.50, so another 5% of that. I'm going to put the baubles down here on the bottom, or I could actually, no, I tell a lie. I'm going to put them at the top because then they look they're hanging. So there's no two-step part for the baubles. Sheila will be happy to know that. There is a teeny tiny little bow. I don't know. Do we need a bow? No, I don't think I want to do a bow. Let's just stop being silly now. And grab a glue. And pop that in here. And then we have a finished card. Really easy and simple. Sending a jar full of cheer, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. That could go with a nice $5. Thanks, Leslie. That's 15% complete, isn't it? Yes. You're very clever. Thank you. Okay, so that is kind of a sketch, but look. And I'm going to keep Lynn and Sheila and Leslie happy. Here's one with a circle. So I did that yesterday to make up for my class. Where's my class? Over here. So yeah, that's it with a circle. I used a Spotlight on Nature circle. And quite often I'll do 2 cards for a class, especially if I think there's going to be at least 6 people in the class, because then they can have a card at either end of the table. They're not sort of looking for the card and trying to work it out. So in the class in October, they will have a choice. They can do a circle or they can do a second jar. I'll let them choose. But how cool is that? Such a simple card, and this is the sketch design that gives us inspiration. So you don't have to use circles. As you see, I did, but not there. I didn't on this. You could have used squares. You could use rectangles. You could use any shape that you want. It just gives you a start. And 2 jars look good. So, Sheila, let me show you the rest of the card. I know they're in plastic bags. And this is, I've got a few actually. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. I prepared earlier. So that's a Spotlight on Nature circle, and it's got the snowman, and you've got the 2-step part with the snowman. And you like the bigger circle, but both cards. You mean like the bigger circle for here, for the sketch? Yeah, yeah. If that was your focal point, and you could do a sentiment like that, that would have been, I wanted to include the punch. That's why I wanted to include the punch. But you could certainly stamp a jar on that and do it that way and not punch your jar out and do a sentiment down here. You could do that too. So this is using the snowman, and it's the little part of his hat and his scarf that you line up for the snowman. And he's easier to line up once you get your head over the top. This is another snowman one. So that's going to be in my class. This is another one with the ornaments. So I just coloured the ornaments with my blends, and I coloured the lid with my blends. And this is another one, although that ribbon I think is gone. Yeah, that's another one. And then this, I don't tend to do heat embossing in my classes because, especially if the class is a full class, it just gets a bit out of control. And this is just 3 of them with the baubles heat embossed in silver, which I think are quite nice. I think this one's bow needs to come down lower, but that's okay. We're not doing it in class. So the heat embossing ones I don't tend to do in class. I used to, but I'm trying to make my life easier. So these are the cards I've got for my Jar of Joy class in October. So that stamp set will be on sale tomorrow, 15% off, and as Leslie said, it'll be $5.25 off. And you can get all sorts of things. There's a card and a sketch for today. You can get all sorts of things tomorrow. Lots. It's all stamp sets except in the last chance product list. And what else? I agree a punch is a tool, but I do not think the punches and dies are in this sale. But I could be wrong. Have a look tomorrow. So make sure you check out the where are we? Here we go. Make sure you check out the stamp sale tomorrow. This one's in it, and it's a really cute one. And if you get your head over the top, Sheila, you'll be able to line up his little bow tie and his gum nut buttons. I promise. So I will be back on Saturday. I've got an online class on Saturday at 2 o'clock on YouTube. Warning alert, my online classes do tend to go for about an hour and a half because we are making 5 cards. So the ladies who've signed up for that class, your packages are on the way. And no, it doesn't include bundles. No, it's just stamp sets. And it's not dies. Like, dies aren't separate. Like, they're not selling the dies separately. Yeah, time for a play, Sheila. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'll be back on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's an online card class. The ladies who've enrolled, their packages are going out. They're arriving. So we'll be making 5 cards using the beautiful gallery suite. So I'll see you then. Have a great rest of the day and rest of the week, and I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you, ladies, for watching. Bye for now.